Your body is this incredible self-sustaining machine, right? And it's got this amazing built-in program just for tidying up. Today, we're going to explore one of its most essential processes. It's called autophagy. So, let's get right into it. So, have you ever stopped to think about this? Every single day, your trillions of cells are working incredibly hard. And just like any busy workshop, they produce waste. Old parts, damaged components, stuff like that. So how on earth do they stay clean and efficient? Well, it turns out they have a system for that, and it is happening inside of you at this very moment. Probably the best way to wrap your head around this process is to picture it as your body's own dedicated cleanup crew. They're working 24/7, but at a microscopic cellular level. And this crew, they have a very specific and very important job to do. So the scientific name for this whole process is autophagy. And yeah, it sounds a little weird at first, but when you break it down, it makes perfect sense. It actually comes from two Greek words, auto, which means self, and phagy, which means to eat. So it literally translates to self-eating. And I know what you're thinking, but trust me, this is a really good thing. This self-eating isn't destructive at all. It's more like a really precise and vital housekeeping service. Autophagy is how a cell breaks down and recycles its own components, just to make sure everything stays in perfect working order. It's absolutely fundamental for its survival and its health. Okay, so how does this cleanup actually happen? Well, the most common and best understood type is called macroautophagy, and it happens in a few very organized steps. Let's walk through how it works. All right, let's break this down step by step. First up, the cell has to identify what's gotta go, the junk. Then this special membrane, it's called a phagophore, starts to form around it. Just picture a trash bag opening up to collect everything. This phagophore wraps all the way around the junk and seals it up tight into something new, called an autophagosome. Now this little trash bag takes a trip over to the cell's recycling center, which is called the lysosome. And once they connect, boom! Powerful enzymes jump in and just break down all the contents into raw materials, things the cell can actually reuse to build new stuff or even generate energy. How cool is that? So while we've really been focusing on macroautophagy, which is like the big curbside pickup service for cellular junk, the cell is actually pretty clever. It has a few different cleanup strategies. For smaller jobs, you've got microautophagy. Think of it more like a direct drop-off at the recycling center. The lysosome just sort of pulls in small bits of material directly. And then there's the super specialized courier service called chaperone-mediated autophagy, which targets very specific proteins for removal. So each method is perfectly suited for a different kind of cleanup job. Okay, so this is all happening at a microscopic level, and it's fascinating stuff. But what does it really mean for you, for your overall health and well-being? Let's get into that. The really crucial thing to get here is that autophagy is so much more than just cleaning. It's a fundamental process for staying healthy. By taking out the damaged parts, it's like a quality control system, stopping problems before they can even start. And when your body is under stress, it provides a quick emergency source of fuel. It even helps out our immune system by getting rid of invading bacteria and viruses. It's a true multitasker for our well-being. This visual really helps connect all the dots, doesn't it? You've got this one core process, the cell's ability to clean and recycle, and it has huge implications for everything. It's linked to how we develop, how we respond to stress, our defense against germs, and just the basic maintenance that keeps our bodies running smoothly over the long haul. Ultimately, getting to know a little bit about autophagy gives you a much deeper appreciation for all the constant, invisible work your body is doing for you. It's a powerful reminder that our bodies are these incredibly intelligent systems, always working toward balance and efficiency, right down to the tiniest little parts. But, it's not always that simple. There's another layer to this story. For the most part, autophagy is a survival tool, right? It helps cells get through stressful times. But, and this is important, its role can change depending on the situation. If the whole process gets out of whack or goes into overdrive, it can actually push the cell towards a type of programmed cell death. So it's really all about balance. And this quote from the source material really sums it up perfectly. It points out that while we usually think of autophagy as a force for survival, when it's disrupted, it can tip the scales the other way. It's this dual nature that makes it such an intense and fascinating area of scientific research. So, to wrap it all up, the key takeaway is actually pretty simple. Autophagy is your body's essential, natural, and nonstop system for cellular maintenance. It's the reason your cells can stay clean, orderly, and running like they should day in and day out. It's a pretty powerful process, and it leaves us with a really fascinating thought. I mean, if this incredible recycling program is always at work without us ever even noticing, what other hidden processes are happening right now, tirelessly working behind the scenes to keep our bodies in balance?